Yeah, bro. So I'm a little nervous about getting emotional.
No, that's cool. Just cry, bro. I'll be right there beside you.
And then I think I don't know if I ain't never cried in public, so I don't know if my cry is ugly.
Oh,
You have.
I don't know if it's
you have
ugly.
Definitely cried in public.
Y'all
my
have never seen me cry in
gosh,
public.
bro. I've
What
cried,
is considered public?
Y'all probably seen me cry one time.
bro.
Y'all definitely seen me cry one time.
I seen you cry. Was that your graduation?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What was you doing?
Okay, that was the only one
He was in a big public space.
was
Bro,
it
I was
ugly?
not crying in public.
Was it ugly?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It wasn't that bad.
How you know? You were the crying. You didn't see
Yeah.
yourself
You were
crying.
emotional.
Yeah, I also was intoxicated. I just remember being like, nobody knew how hard it was to get. Nobody knew what it's gonna take to get here. You know, the people who be like, my teacher said I would never make it. And the teacher be at home like,
I never.
nobody
said that.
ever said that.
I tutored you.
The whole hood was against me.
Everybody came to your graduation. Start the
Welcome back to another episode of the Soundboard Podcast, episode 38.
3-8.
This is the real 38.
Oops.
And you already know this is Coop, and I'm joined by...
It's your main man, Dante.
What's up with it? It's your boy JJ.
Yeah, man. So what's going on with you fellas?
The countdown is on. The countdown is on.
What is the count?
The countdown is on to the wedding, bro. It is officially 20 days. Well,
20 days.
We're recording this on Saturday, the 30th. So by the time y'all hear it, it's going to be like 17. Wait, I don't think
It
my
depends
math.
on what day they listen
My
to
math
it.
ain't mathing.
It just depends on what
Oops.
day. they listen
I'm
to
getting married. All right.
What's the
Just go from your day.
Right.
what's
Yeah.
the temperature of your feet?
So you know what, bro? You know what? They are very warm.
That's what's up.
Olivia's in this like bridal thing on Facebook, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, this girl is selling all of her stuff, her wedding dress and everything, because the guy called off the wedding." Said that he got cold feet.
He said it?
He said he got cold feet. So Olivia go look up at me. We sit on the couch. She said, "Dante, tell me now if you having reservations, because if you embarrass me in front of our family and friends, it's gonna be a problem." I said, "Baby, my feet warm as ever, hot feet."
Tell her you've been walking around with wool socks.
Bro, we are good. We are good on this end. And you know what? It's so crazy because like I'm already starting to see like our lives merge into one. So Olivia was.
That's so sweet.
Olivia was,
special?
Olivia was actually out of town for work this week, and so I was full time daddy mode. It was just me and Jaden at the house.
Big Papa.
You know what I'm saying? King of the castle. You know what I'm saying?
Hustling master.
So we at the crib. I'm at the crib. I'm working. Jaden goes to school. She texts me while she's at school, and she's like, "Hey, can I stay after school and hang out with my friends?" I'm like, should I be a cool dad? Should
This
I
was
be
a personal text. It wasn't the group with you and
Well,
Whitney, huh?
no, it was just me. You know what? That's how I know she got over on me. Cause she didn't text our DOJ chat. She texted me solely. And she was like, "Hey, Dante, can I stay after school and hang out with my friends?" I said, "Yeah, Jay, that's fine. Who gonna be there?" She tells me who gonna be there. I'm like, "Okay, that's cool. Be home by 6 o'clock."
That's reasonable.
That's reasonable, right? So Jayden texted me probably at about 5:30, and she's like,
Gonna be
"Hey,
late."
me and my friends are." She said, "Me and my friends are going to go get some food." And in my mind, I'm like, "Okay, that's fine, baby. I don't care, long as you home by 6
I
o'clock."
must be getting like a 10-minute meal.
Right.
Because it's going to take you 20 minutes.
Because it's gonna take me 20 minutes. So the next thing I get a call. It's now after 6 o'clock. It's now about 6:20. And on the other line is Jaden on the other side of the phone.
What time is it again?
6:20.
Ooh.
Crying,
That's past 6.
crying her eyes out in tears. She's, "Can you please come pick me up?"
What happened?
They were hanging out. They had went to go get food. Instead of Jaden being like, hey guys, I need to get home. Take me home.
Yeah.
They her and her friends go behind the little restaurant, and they just out there hanging out, playing football and stuff. Her friend is driving around. Because, they're all driving now. So her friend is driving the car. The little boy jumps on top of the car, falls off, hits his head, gets a concussion.
He was surfing.
So Jane calls me in tears. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'll just hear her on the phone crying, and she's like, and he hurt himself, and I had to call the police. So I panicked.
You called the police?
Jaden called the police.
Oh, dang.
So I panicked, bro. I dart out the house. Luckily, it was only about 7 minutes away. I get there. I pull up. I see the cops there. And the cops are like, I pull up. You just see the door fling open. I say, Jaden. She comes up. The cops come up to me. They're like, sir. It's okay. They're trying to explain to me what happened.
Don't move too fast around the cops.
Yeah, it's going to be a different situation.
You're right. I didn't even think about that. So he's like, no, she didn't do anything wrong. Blah blah blah. So we get in the car. Jaden's still crying. She's trying to explain to me, and as she's crying, I'm looking at her, and I say, when we get to that house, give me that phone and that TV. I don't care about your tears. You had one thing. You told me that you were going to do something.
Had you been at home at 6.
So we get to the crib. I said, Jaden,
you would have been knocked out without you being there.
I said, Jaden, let me exactly. So we get to the crib, and she's trying to explain to me. I'm like, Jaden, at the end of the day, you knew that by the time y'all got food, you should have just said, hey guys, y'all need to take me home. Or you could have called me and been like, hey Dante, I'm not gonna be able. It's gonna be after 6. I would have came.
Yeah.
And so she's at the crib crying. I just don't understand. Nobody else's parents.
You weren't moved by the tears?
I was not moved at all. I could care less because I told you to go do something and you did not do it. And so she's like, nobody else is in trouble and I'm just caring about my friend. I'm saying, well, you can see him at school tomorrow. Hopefully. You can't call him tonight. I got the phone. You can see him at school tomorrow. So I had to teach Jaden a valuable lesson.
I bet she don't do it again.
I bet she won't do it again. Well, if she has the opportunity.
I mean, she did.
But I had to teach her a valuable lesson. And I was like, Jen, I need you to understand that sometimes you have to pay the consequences for your stupid friend's decisions.
Yep.
And she was like, I just don't understand. I didn't do anything wrong. I said, but your stupid friend did. And when he jumped on top of a moving vehicle, that was dumb. And instead of y'all telling him to stop, y'all was over there probably laughing and joking and giggling. He ends up getting hurt, and I had to come pick you up. So nah, it's a no for me. So she's officially grounded. I am.
Okay, Dante.
You see me?
All of our teenage listeners out there, let there be a lesson.
But did she learn the lesson though?
Bro, I think
she ain't do nothing wrong.
bro, she is miserable.
She did something wrong though.
She did, and she was late. I said, either way, you was gonna be in trouble because you were late.
Did she acknowledge that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She was like, I know I was late. I'm just saying, I get to make mistakes. Not over here, baby. You make one, it's a wrap.
Dang.
Dunzo.
We gave you freedom, and we tell Jane all the time, when we give you freedom, you have it until you ruin it.
Sometimes life don't give you second chances,
and they don't. And so
That's a fact, Jack.
We're turning into our parents. That's a fact, Jack.
You seen that commercial where they be like,
where they turn into their parents? Oh my god, bro. So yeah, bro. So I had to let Jaden learn that hard lesson that you got to pay for your friends' mistakes, and it also taught me a lesson that oftentimes I've been the dumb friend that other people had to pay for my mistakes.
Oh yeah.
So it just made me think about that.
well, I too learned a lesson this week.
What you learned?
What you learn, bro?
I learned that I don't do meditation well.
Wait, like legs crossed, arms stiff,
Legs crossed, arms crossed, in Zen. I don't Zen well. So we had we do this thing in our office. It's like we had a meditation workshop where we bring in somebody to kind of talk through meditation practices and like breathing techniques and things, all kinds of like stress management type of approaches and strategies. So I tend to, the meditation, try to give a little some tips, some tricks to learn. Go into that. First of all, I was a little late.
You're late
That
to
boy,
bed?
that boy rushed into meditation.
I was a
You
little
started
late.
off wrong.
I was a little late. They already had the lights off, and the instructor was talking.
JJ come in like, sorry y'all.
The door
I made
slams
all
the door behind
I made
him.
all the noise coming in, but
He's stepping over people. Oh,
He
excuse
bought
me, Sharon. I'm
a
sorry.
new yoga mat. Had to take out the plastic.
they didn't even have a yoga mat for me.
Yeah,
That boy just on the
That's what I
bare
get.
floor.
That's what I get for being late.
exactly.
So I get there and I everybody's sitting in with the legs crossed, in Zen already. So I try to join. She's talking all calm and soft and like, hey, breathing. This box breathing technique where you got to breathe in 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, breathe out for 8 counts. First of all, it's hard to breathe out for 8 counts. No,
you gotta like let them out.
For the full 8 seconds, bro. My breath was being short by like 4 seconds.
That's your problem. You gotta have breath
Learn how to
control.
breathe.
That's what the Hulk had to learn.
Anyways, we transition from the seated position to laying down. Right, you're supposed to be like in tune. She's going through like, feel the right side of your body, feel the left side of your body. These are the breathing techniques. Next thing you know, I wake myself up from snoring. I said, am I snoring?
You know
Was I
what?
asleep?
I don't think that's a bad thing. I think you
You
meditated too good.
did it. You did it right.
You meditated too
Nah,
good.
bro, because I tried to switch the position again. I was out.
So you know what? Now I see why them people at that job hate you.
What?
You came in there late to the Zen
It's starting
meditation
to make
room.
sense.
Now I see why they be snitching on you.
First of all, they don't
I see
hate
why
me.
they didn't pick you at the community at the Connect Four. I see why these people don't like you. You're a disruption to the peace of the
It all
office.
makes sense now.
They don't hate me, first of all.
They don't hate you. They just strongly dislike you. And they probably talked about you after you done walked out. JJ woke up, said, "Whoa, whoa, that was a good session, wasn't it?
We gotta do this again.
What is Sharice?" So they all outside with their arms crossed like this. He's just such a disruption.
Bro, it's just
to
hard.
our office.
It's hard to like focus on not focusing.
They say you're supposed to like empty your mind, but like, is that even possible? I feel like we just have too much going on to like have no thoughts.
Which
That's
is
the
the
practice.
purpose of meditation.
You have to practice.
Yeah, it's a practice. And I'm at the very beginning.
Are you gonna do it again?
Have you tried it again?
No.
Are you going to try it again?
I would try it again. I think
Okay.
I think the breathing technique will be helpful in a lot of situations, especially if I'm trying to go to sleep. So I would try.
I'm gonna have
it.
to try that because I
respect
struggle to sleep.
Yeah, you
I
try it.
respect
You
it.
might be knocked out.
I probably could have used that this week because your boy had to turn into Mr. Dad, Mr.
my-
Husband.
Is this becoming the dad husband podcast?
That's what it is, bro. The
Oh,
natural
gosh.
evolution.
I guess it is.
So we have this thing called Home Shield.
Okay.
So basically, it covers all your appliances in your house.
Mm.
So you just pay like a flat fee to have somebody come out and fix it.
Okay. Dope.
It's like $75. They just come out and fix whatever issue you have
In the home?
in the house.
This how you know we getting old? Because if we was younger, I would have been like, "How much is that?" We don't need that. Now that we older
That's in addition.
and the warranty, nah, we good.
And if that's the other thing. If they can't fix it, they replace it.
Oh yeah,
It's worth it.
Yeah, that's worth it.
right? So we had them come service our AC unit, right?
Is it still broke?
Let me tell you.
It's a little warm in here.
I'm sweating through my shirt.
We pay $75 to have our AC unit serviced.
Okay.
The person calls me and says, "Hey, we can't get to you this week. We'll get to you next week." Fine, whatever. Next week comes Wednesday. He comes to my house. He rings my doorbell. I open the door. He's standing across the street looking at my roof. I was like, "What's up?" He's like, "Oh, do y'all have a ladder attached to your house?"
Wait.
Because I have a 2-story house.
He came unequipped.
He came unequipped. He said the new rule at his company is he can only have a 6-foot ladder max. Anything over 6 feet, the house has to have a ladder attached to it.
But why they didn't tell you that before they came out here?
Wait a minute. What
Get
house?
Cocoa Pass.
What house has a ladder attached to it?
Right.
1950s Leave It to Beaver house?
Yo.
And I said, okay, that's fine. Well, you can't service it. Well, no big deal. I'm sure they'll send somebody else out. No.
So you got to go buy a ladder.
They want me to go buy a ladder and attach it to my house.
No.
So they said my fault. They
That's probably them.
So
That's still calling right
they
now.
still charge me the $75.
Oh yeah, that's a consultation.
And they want to charge me another $75 to have somebody come out here and service the AC.
But he didn't do nothing.
He didn't do anything.
So that's
But just the call itself is 75.
Right. So Kiana's talking to him on the phone. And they upsetting my baby.
Uh-oh. They done woke the beast. 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks.
Hey, I think I done tapped into something.
And that one, Coop gonna start running towards conflict now.
So I heard Kiana voice raise. I said, Kiana, calm down. Calm down. Give me the phone. Now I'll get on the phone. I said, let me tell y'all something. I'm not paying for a service I didn't receive. Blah, blah, blah. She's going back and forth. We're talking in circles. I said, you know what? I understand where you're coming from. I need you to understand where I'm coming from. Cancel my service.
That's grown man.
That's the bluff right there.
Cancel my service. I get it. Cancel it. Oh, no. You know what? We can't refund you your money.
I actually just found a ladder in the back. Sir, there's an 11-foot ladder.
But I was getting heated, bro. But I was like, I'm not. I said, I'm not gonna let them upset me. Just cancel my service. I can handle this some other type of way, bro. So I'm just becoming more of a dad,
bro. I respect it, dog. I respect you. Like, cool for somebody who said they don't really like conflict. My guy, you raising up.
I'm doing pull-ups on the bar, the conflict bar.
That boy Coop
it used to be a struggle for me. Now I'm just working
and I
out.
love it.
Yes, sir.
And I love it. No, but you gotta be like that, bro. I think the older you get, you also gotta be like stern with like customer service
Who
and
you think you
stuff.
playing with,
Bro,
But part of that is like, bro, you paying for a service.
You're
So
paying for a service.
If you're not giving me the quality of service that I'm paying for, I'm
Right.
gonna cancel it.
Right.
I'm sending my food back and everything from now on.
I ordered the salmon.
I want it. Bro, and you know it's so funny. I used to be so embarrassed to do that, but
Me too.
I still don't do it.
Jaden and I had went to
I
go
used to
get
work at a restaurant.
Jaden and I had went to go get some we had went to go get her some food, and these people were like, we were like, oh, can we get some, Jaden loves ranch.
Yeah.
Can we get some ranch? And they gave us like one ranch. Can we get some ranch? And it just made me mad. They were like, it's extra. Baby, first of all, you don't know my pockets.
Look at me.
I got it.
You think I'm struggling for rent?
Do you see this Sentra? Baby, it's nothing. Throw it in the bag.
Yeah.
But it just made me mad, bro. And me and Jane were just laughing because I was like, dang, bro, these people be over here being the dang ranch police, the ranch rangers.
Nah. Don't let them put a lettuce on my burger. I'm sending the burger back.
The whole burger.
They'll be like, sir, we could just take that out.
Make me a new burger. No lettuce.
Nah, bro, you got to be like
That's
that.
where I'm at with it.
Coop, I'm so glad that you're walking into that frustration.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so glad you're walking into that.
Feels good. I've been watching The Godfather of Harlem, too.
What is up with you and your love for Godfather?
I don't know.
Never mind. Let me mind the business that pays me.
Calm down. You should relax.
Let me mind the business that pays me.
They've been doing pull-ups, dog.
So y'all know we were y'all know this is the soundboard. So we like to just bring things that come across. Sometimes we come across stuff on social media, and I just want to get y'all's take on it. So there was this video. There's this rapper named Light Skin Keisha. First of all, I hate the name.
I don't like that either.
Why does that have to be in your name? But you know what? That's neither here nor there. But she did this video, and it had the people in an uproar. Some people agree with her. Some people did not agree with her. Here's what she said.
Baby, I could be out with my friends and we could be having a blast. But the minute that my man calls, hello, you said what, you want me to come with? I'm out. Mid turn up. I'm out. Period. They be like, where you going? To my man. To my man. You always with him. You was just with him. I don't care. I'm going to be with him. And I'm going to be with him again after that. And again after that. And again after that. Because that's My man.
Bro, it was so funny because when I read the comments are the best part of social media. It's never the content itself.
Right.
And you had so many people who agreed with her, but other people who did not agree with her. And that started us having a conversation. Like, those friends that are in relationships and they act like the world does not exist.
Yeah.
Do y'all think she was wrong in this, or do y'all think she's right? When Boo calls, that's where I met with it.
I think the thing is with guys, I've never been in a situation where a guy's like, you know what, my girl's calling, I'm about to dip.
Because dudes be out here having fun.
We be having fun. If it's that type of thing, they just won't come out.
Right.
You just never see them anymore.
Or unless it's an emergency.
Right.
Unless it's an emergency. But I thought about it because Olivia and I, we are about to take this next step. And it seems like it's harder for other people to understand this new transition that we're going to, because it's almost like, yo, you won't have the access to me like you've had access to me in the beginning, because now Olivia is my first priority.
Right.
And then it's Jaden. So like, if something going on at the home, I got to go.
I think the difference is in this particular situation is I don't think anything's going on. He just wants her home now.
See, that's toxic.
That's toxic.
He's just hitting her up.
Yeah, so I think that's a problem. And I hate, bro, I don't know. We have a lot of friends that are women, right?
Right.
When they disappear when they get into relationships.
Bro, I've definitely experienced that a lot.
That's the most annoying thing to me. So I think that's kind of the same thing. It's like, don't just flake on us when you got a man and then come back whenever things are not going right.
Yeah, I think it's because she kept saying like she'll do it again and again and again and again. It's not like he called for an emergency situation.
Right.
It's just something. Her man takes precedent over all the friends.
Sound like he just wanted to take a couple trips.
To that special time.
Yeah.
And in the middle of her going out with her friends. But so I wanted to know from you guys, because I think this is a great conversation just for us. How do you balance your friendships along with your relationship? Even if you're not married, how do you find that balance? Because of course you want to be a good friend, but you also have to, make sure that the relationship is right. How do you find that balance? Have y'all at any point struggled to find that balance?
I think it's something that we kind of talked about before, just like with me having my Fridays now. Like, because before it's like I was so shut in the house just because I needed to be for the baby, and then I need to support my wife. But at the end of the day, we need other relationships outside of our
Those
own
relationships
relationship.
matter.
You know what I mean? They matter also. I know people say like, this is the only person I need or whatever, but your community matters. So
It does.
Just making sure you allot time to hang out with your other friends is very important to me.
Yeah, that's good. What about you, JJ?
I think that having open communication is paramount. So I feel like having a relationship with your significant other and having a relationship with friends, you need both of those. Like, I don't think that you can just I don't think that it's just completely healthy to just have a relationship with your significant other. So I feel like as long as you're having open communication around what that expectation looks like you have to have a conversation around what does it look like? Here's my friends. What does it look like if I hang out with my friends? What does it look like if we hang out together? And what does it look like if you hang out with your friends? Like, we want to create those spaces so that way we can still have like part of our own thing, and then we have things that we do together. I think it also makes the time that you have together, it makes it more special. Like, you cherish that a little bit more.
Right.
But the key is like to be able to communicate about it, because if you out there hanging out, let's just say you hang out 3 days a week with your friends, and that's not okay with her, maybe you need to cut it back, right? So you got to have that conversation about what is cool. So it may be like Coop's talking about, like, they got a Friday together. I mean, he has his Friday alone. So like, that's cool.
That boy it's alone.
But that's important. Like, he needs that as well.
Yeah. So recently, in this transition recently, a friend and I have been experiencing a little bit of tension. We've been experiencing a little bit of tension. And I think part of the things is because you have friends who just require more than you can give in a season. And we just had to have that difficult conversation that like, hey, I'm not in a season anymore. What up, Nick? I'm not in a season anymore where like I'm finna just be hanging out with you on the regular. Yeah. But like, if big moments happen, I will be there for you. And I think sometimes in relationships, it's people not willing to to just deal with the fact that relationships change over time.
Right.
Like, I can't just be out here. I can't be talking to you all the time.
Right.
Like, we just at a point now where if you need me, I'm there. If it's something big, I'm gonna be there to celebrate you. But all that, talking on the phone and we
Can't
not
do
gonna
it.
even see each other.
Can't do it.
I'm gonna be honest. If it weren't for the podcast, we probably wouldn't see each other as much as we do.
No, we definitely would.
We definitely wouldn't, because just life is a thing. And I just think that I think this conversation was just so good because it was a lot of people, surprisingly enough, who were like, "Oh, shorty tripping."
Right.
Like, my friends are important to me. They may not be as more important than my significant other, but my friends are important, because Coop said something, and I think this is super important. People will put they bae number one, which is rightfully so, where they should be, and then shut out the world. And then when you and bae ain't right, you trying to come back around her.
Hey, what
trying
y'all
to
doing?
hang out?
What y'all doing? How you been? It's been a long time.
Yeah. Hey, bro. Yeah, man. I just want to. Oh, yeah. Cause once you get out that honeymoon phase,
Yep.
Yeah.
now y'all experience the tension. You like, maybe I don't want to be around you all the
Right,
time.
right.
And now you trying to come back and act like things done changed. But hey, my boy, you done missed like a couple of years and stuff.
Yeah.
We
You
got
gonna
new
have to-
friends in the circle. They don't even know you.
We got new friends. The new friends looking at you like,
Who are you?
Who is this?
Right.
And so I just think it's important to just have that conversation just about the importance of just balancing friendships along with your relationship, because community really does matter.
And I feel like even with the community, like, it's important to select your community wisely as well.
Right.
Oh, definitely.
So like, if you are, if you're growing and things are changing, you're becoming more busy, and your community is also doing the same,
Right.
then there's like a common understanding. Like,
Right.
hey, we're all kind of moving in a particular way. I think a lot of times the people that find that that's an issue or be tripping is because there's either they're stagnant or they're not moving in the same
They're
direction.
getting left
Right.
behind or going the opposite way.
Yeah, it's just a gap, and sometimes that's cool. People move differently.
Right.
It just may be like y'all in and out for seasons.
Right.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
and that I think that is very true. So, hey man, I think the biggest thing with your friendships is just communicating where you are in the friendship, right?
Definitely.
Like, communicating your expectations. Yo, I can either do this, I can't do that. But I just saw this. It was something funny that I wanted to talk to y'all about.
That was good.
Yes, sir. So I want to bring something to y'all's attention. I attended this little guest speaker came, and I listened to his speech.
They came at your job.
Was it work?
It was at my job.
When do you work?
Y'all play Connect 4?
Y'all play Connect 4.
So you work at Google or something.
Hey, man.
Y'all play Connect 4. Y'all got speakers. Y'all got meditation.
this
When does the
speaker-
job happen?
Outside of those times,
They work at 5 o'clock.
this speaker actually they had him come in because he was speaking on mental health.
Okay.
And he's also so like, I work in a health science center for around medical professionals.
Right.
And he also was in this profession as well. So he's kind of speaking to the students and the staff, the faculty around mental health and like strategies and tips and tools, things like that. So he came, he gave us a speech, and he talked a lot about like stories and bricks, just kind of talking about what it looks like to navigate different mental health struggles and things like that. So I just kind of wanted to share with y'all some of my takeaways
Okay.
from
Drop the knowledge, King.
Come on, give me some knowledge.
one of the things that he was
mathematics.
talking about. So he shared a lot of his personal stories in the beginning, just kind of like from childhood basically to where he is now. But he was basically saying that we all experience trauma. Some of it is big T, like a big T trauma, like big events that happen.
Right.
Some of it is small T trauma, like some of those smaller traumatic situations that happen, which oftentimes are like secondary trauma. And so he gave an analogy of like bricks and pebbles. So essentially he had a backpack.
All white bricks. Sorry, Gucci. We can't say bricks without the Gucci.
Right.
Yeah, I guess.
I needed to be at this train.
Right.
Instead
I'm
of
sorry.
working.
Continue.
Yes. So he basically was giving this analogy where he put on a bag and he had bricks in his backpack. And he's like, this is kind of what it looks like when we're walking around with all of the trauma that we have that has like been undealt with or unpacked trauma.
Right.
Like, and we're just walking around with this weight, this heavy weight, and it affects us in so many different ways. And so the bigger point that I took away was the small T. He was saying like, we all have small traumas. These traumas are in the form of pebbles. Most of the times, these are the traumas that are not identified. Right? We always associate with those bigger issues, but those smaller ones are the ones that can still weigh the same amount as when you add up all the pebbles, they can become bricks.
Right.
Or essentially the same weight as bricks. So I think that was one thing to pay attention to. Is
No,
like
that's
the,
big.
The smaller traumas that we go through in life. Another thing was that a major factor affecting our mental health as a collective society is the issue of indebtedness. And so basically he was saying like our mental health can get affected sometimes physically, right? Through disease and all kind of things because of the issues and the stress that surround indebtedness, meaning that it creates an environment where we're unsafe.
Right.
So he kind of gave the example of like majority of people are indebted to somebody in society, whether that's like you owe a mortgage, you owe a car note, student loans, all these different things, but we owe somebody. So that level of pressure,
Like a cloud over your head.
Yep.
yeah, if you don't make a mortgage
dark
payment,
cloud.
then you're going to be homeless. So essentially, like you got to show up to work. Most of the time, it's doing work that we don't want to do,
Right.
jobs that we don't enjoy or love,
Right.
and they also add additional stress. That creates an environment that's unsafe. And
Right.
We're processing this unsafe environment, like, and it's having its physical ramifications
Right.
over our life. So I thought that was another
No, that's good. That's good.
That's really good.
another good thing. And then the last thing was that because we're in this position where we're always helping others, at least like most of the majority of the audience, right? And I feel like all three of us have some type of nature where we help in different capacities, where
Right.
we have a natural proclivity to like serve other people.
Right.
Somebody had asked him how do you balance like, you know, the natural desire to serve other people and help others, but then also take care of yourself.
Right.
And he was saying that he had to reframe how he viewed helping others because he came to the realization that he was viewing helping and serving others as an addiction. And so it was an addiction for him to like continuously serve, continuously take on these different things and not focus on looking at himself in the mirror.
Right.
Which a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people
A lot of people do that.
A lot of people do that. It's a way to like escape having to look in the mirror,
Right.
and actually truly deal with yourself.
Right. So they can fix everybody else's problems, but they don't want to
They can't fix their own.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's it right there.
That is, bro.
That's it right there. No, that sounded like that was a legit training, bro.
Yeah. Which one resonated with you the most, Dante?
I think the part about just the financial indebtedness, like I don't think we talk about just how much of we were laughing when I said it's like a dark cloud. But like, do you remember when you got out of school and realized how much debt that you had? Like you came into it with JJ face. I know JJ know what I'm talking about. Look at JJ.
That ain't changed.
Did nobody tell you to go over here and try to go get a mask?
What's up, Joe? What's up, Joe? Holla at me.
Hey, no, they talking about he thinking about it.
He's been thinking for a long time.
I'm gonna be honest with you,
Until
bro.
he's not the president no more.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've quit.
Do what y'all gonna do.
I've quit thinking about it. I've quit stressing about it. Sally Mae ain't gonna get paid from moi.
I ain't got it.
I don't have it. That money has started to be spent on other things. I don't even have it in my budget anymore. And when I realized that, I've been chilling ever since.
Stress free.
Bro, stress free. Cause I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I was paying $250 a month.
Right.
And so just imagine, like, yeah, I got the little degree, but half of the people get the degree, you ain't even working in your field,
Right.
or working doing the job that you wanted to do,
Right.
Or for some people, like my sister got that and she dropped out, like, and for her, she's like, I did not like school, so she tried it, but now you're also dealing with. Now I still gotta pay. I gotta pay this.
Did
debt
she not
back.
get a job? I mean, a decent job?
She ended up going to the army. She served our country. Thank you, little sis.
Hey, shout out to her.
Salute.
Thank you, little
No,
sis.
but that's good, bro. Because it's even like like I posted the other day. I like listening to Dave Ramsey all day, just like destroy people. But that's one thing he preaches. Is like, yeah, there's ways to invest your money and make money and all these other things. But he's saying for the majority of people, the best thing for you to do is just to pay off your debt so
Yeah.
you can live stress free. Like
Yeah.
take that burden off your
Bro,
back.
it think about how much like it starts to debt can and you said it can start to have a physical reaction to it, bro. Like
Yeah.
you can how many people we out here depressed because you just ain't making enough money.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
and a lot of times because that's not necessarily on the forefront of our mind. Like we're not focused on the actual
Right.
debt. It's kind of subconscious. And so he even posed the question. He was like, "Well, what does that look like if you don't owe anybody any money?"
boy,
You know what I'm saying? Like, what is,
Big pimping, baby.
yachts,
how do your decisions
silk
change?
shirts. Me and Olivia on the yacht.
That's good. I think the one that resonated with me was the big T, little T traumas or whatever. And I think we've talked about this off mic before, but just the fact that I am so conflict avoiding is, I think a lot of it has to do with like the fact that my uncle got killed in a conflict. You know what I mean? It was something completely avoidable.
Right.
Like he was driving, somebody was following his car and hopped out the car.
Somebody hopped out.
His friend hopped out the car
Okay.
to confront the people following them, and they ended up just shooting up the car.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so it's like he went head first into the conflict.
Yeah.
Ended up costing my uncle his life.
You know what? Cool. I can see why that. I can see why
and I
that
was a
would.
kid. You know what I mean?
I can see why that would have an impact on you.
Yeah,
though,
it's like
in terms of conflict.
because now I'm looking at how far things can go. Like I've seen
Right.
the worst situation. You know what I mean?
And that's like the worst thing that can happen.
That's
Like you lose your life.
You
from
lose
a
your
conflict.
life for a conflict. I'm like, was it worth it? At the end of the day, like, was he standing up for himself, or
Right.
his friend was standing up for him? Was that worth it, or would it
Yeah.
have been better just to leave? And I think that's kind of the same thing we talked about with like the gun safety and all that
Right.
stuff. I'm like, dip, bro. Like,
Yeah, it's not worth it, because
don't-
you can see ultimately you could
I've
possibly
seen
lose
it.
your life.
Yeah, I've seen it. And I mean, like that happened when I was 6 years old, and that's something I think about all the time. Like it plays to my mind. So I think that's probably like the biggest trauma in my backpack. It's affected me.
Bro, that's a big weight.
It is, but I'm saying like,
Yeah.
but he said even since 6 years old, so like that, those things continue to add up, and like that affects all the decisions that he
Right,
makes
right.
later on. And I'm sure like the thing that he was talking about, the speaker was talking about, is that if you don't deal with them or you don't like unpack them,
Right.
then it's not just affecting you; it's going to affect your significant other. It's going
Right.
to affect your kids, right? Because that stuff comes out if Coop's conflict avoidant and his kids see that, and Coop's like constantly avoiding conflict,
Right.
how are they going to then
Right.
be raised up? So it's the importance of like being able to deal with it and unpack it.
Mm-hmm.
Which then, a question I want to pose is like, how do you feel like is the best way to unpack some of the stories that we carry, or some of those traumas, or some of the big T, small T traumas?
I think the first thing is what they say about like even alcoholics. You have to acknowledge
Right.
where it stems
That
from.
is trauma, right?
Yeah,
And figure out where
like,
it comes from.
I'm this way because of this, or like you can pinpoint what happened, and then I mean just acknowledgement, and then you just kind of have to work through it, and like even now, I mean, that's still something I work through now. Like as we know, like I'm just now starting to confront conflict when I feel it's necessary.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's a huge step though.
Yeah.
No, that is huge. I would say, after you realize that there's trauma there, go talk to somebody. Honestly, go talk to a professional about it. Because what I realized, bro, when I was going to therapy, it's easier for me to talk to somebody I don't know than to talk to people I know.
That makes sense.
It's just easier.
The
'cause
judgment doesn't really matter
It's
to
not
you.
a judgment.
Yeah.
Like you're like, and I know he can't tell nobody because he swore to secrecy. Ain't it HIPAA? It's HIPAA just better.
I don't know. Sounds
HIPAA.
right.
Either way, he can't talk to nobody.
Right.
And so that just made me feel comfortable being like, hey, bro, like this is how I feel. This is what's going on. So I would say just talking to somebody just about it. Because sometimes you will never say it and it'll just sit there and it'll ruminate in your mind and it'll play over in your mind. And so I would say just talking to somebody.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I think what Coop said, acknowledging it, being able to identify it, being able to address it, like that's huge. I think one practical thing you can do is like carry around like a journal, or
Yeah, that's good.
or some type of whether it's your phone journal, whatever that is, but something where you when things come up, you're
You
able
can
to
get it
write
out.
it down. Yeah, and then like write down those stories, like however it is that you feel or whatever happened to you. Like if you're triggered by something and then you kind of think back and reflect on like what triggered you, if you're able to identify it, write it down. Because then writing it down, I feel like helps you to be able to process it, like,
Yeah.
and address it.
And sometimes it may not even be as bad as you think it is. Sometimes when stuff stays in your mind, it has it goes down like the rabbit hole
Yes,
where it
yeah.
just gets worse and worse. But if you look at it and you're like, you know what, it happened, but it's not that bad.
And bro, sometimes I feel like we trick ourselves. Like whenever things are in our mind, we be ruminating over it. We compartmentalize things. So you'd be like, oh, I can deal with this. And you put that on this side. And you can be like, oh, I deal with this too. And everything's compartmentalized. But you don't realize everything that you're carrying until you like actually put it down.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, all this stuff is on my mind.
Yeah.
So it kind of helps you to put a picture to everything that's going on again.
And that's why you be ugly crying in front of everybody.
Bro, you know what's so funny? Today, as I was driving over here, I literally had this thought that like, once you make peace with the struggles of life, you will have peace. Because a lot of times people don't really think about the fact like,
Is that a soundbite of the week?
I said, say that again. What was it?
once you make peace with the struggles of life, you will then have peace. A lot of times, bro, you know what I'm saying? Run me mine. Run me mine. But I was thinking about it on my way over here because I was like, you know, once you acknowledge the fact that life is not going to be without trouble, it's not going to be without issues.
Right.
It's not going to be without you making mistakes.
Right.
Like you can live life without the expectation that it's going to be perfect.
Wow.
I think a lot of times we think it's going to be perfect and you know it ain't. Like something's going to happen. And once you make it, you know what I'm saying? Collection plate 2 times. For those who came late.
You got a late fee at church?
Ain't no late fee. Hey, bro, I was going to church. They was passing that mug around multiple times because we wanted everybody to get
old
it.
church.
Yeah,
Bro, they
it was an old church.
3 times.
I only put my $5, dog.
We down in there with that change.
We take Venmo, Cash App.
Bro, I saw this video where this older lady, she was an usher, and she was like, "Y'all, quit balling up them dollars. We know it's $1. We gotta then sit here and iron it because you ashamed. $1 is $1.
It's $1.
Hey, bro, that is funny. But that sounded like that was a very enlightening session.
Yeah, it was, man. It was enlightening. It was insightful. I think those type of sessions are good. So
Right.
JJ, do you ever get tired of talking about mental health? Because that's like what you work for. I just would be exhausted.
Right.
If I had to process as much as you have to process.
I do, bro. I do get tired sometimes because sometimes it's like heavy. It'd be emotionally or mentally heavy. But one of the things that I feel like would be helpful is to take seasons off. Like
from your job?
Nah, just like taking like a time away just to make sure that you're doing what you need to do for you.
Right.
So, yeah.
No, that's good.
Yeah. But speaking of mental health,
JJ can't run from it. It's at work. It's on the pod.
and I don't know how this is going to go. Because we take mental health seriously around here. But at the same time, we need to address our fellow brother, Ben Simmons.
Ben, come sit down.
So if anybody doesn't know, Ben Simmons is a basketball player. He used to play for the 76ers. He got traded to the Brooklyn Nets after he refused to play for the majority of the season.
I was about to say, who does he play for now? But
Ben Simmons sat out because he wanted to be traded. Okay?
Right.
Yeah.
We remember that drama.
He ends up getting traded, right? Still sits out.
I gave you what you wanted, and you still mad.
He said his back hurts, right? Come to find out at the end of the season, he turns around and says, yeah, my back hurt, but the injury didn't stem from working out or anything. It's a side effect of my mental health. He says, when certain stressors happen to him, it causes pain in his back, right? So, of course, the one and only Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, my God.
one and
The
only.
one and only.
he had to sound off, and this is what
he
said.
wasn't about to be quiet.
Nobody is worse than Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons might also be the weakest, most pathetic excuse for a professional athlete we have ever seen in not just American history, but the history of sports. I can't think of a professional athlete that has come across more pathetic.
Bro,
than
first
this
of
man.
all, at this point, back hurting or not, Steven ain't gonna have to see me. I don't care, bro. He called that man pathetic
Multiple times.
multiple times.
Nah, he went in.
He went in on him.
Right.
And so his ultimate thing was he was talking about him using the mental illness as a reason not to play.
As an excuse.
As an excuse. He was saying he was using that as an excuse.
As a society, do you think that are we taking it too far? Or do you think people are starting to abuse
Mental
health as far as like in general?
That's good. That's good. I think it's a great question. Let me give you this.
What's up?
Let me give you this. Ben might not be tripping.
What you mean?
Bro, I was reading this article and it actually talks about the fact that your mental illness can impact your bodily functions. So Carla Manley, PhD, a clinical psychologist and author, says that people with mental illnesses can experience a range of physical symptoms such as muscle tension, pain, headaches, insomnia, and feelings of restlessness. Also, along with brain fog, stomach pain. She says that some of the mental stress can cause physical problems such as the headaches, migraines, soreness, digestive issues, sleep disorders, and feelings of sluggishness. So I don't necessarily think that Ben is lying, but to your point, are we doing too much?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's hard, and this is the reason why I say I think it's hard, because I think for most of us, everybody has. It's almost like everybody's dealing with mental illness. We might as well just go and say, if you are alive today,
right,
you are dealing with some type of mental illness.
Right.
However, I don't know if you can tell me what's too bad for me.
So, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So think about it like this. So my mental illness, although it may not be as big to you, it could cause physical symptoms for me.
Right.
It could make me deal with muscle soreness and depression where I don't want to get out of bed and restlessness. And although everybody deals with mental illness, that might not be your story.
Right.
So you might be able to get up, get done what you need to do, go to work, take care of your kids, hang out with your friends. But that just may not be me. So I think it's a little hard to answer that question.
So even with that, right? Like, because mental health affects everybody differently, right?
Right.
And there's truth, there's validity to that, like the article you read.
Right.
At the same time, you're getting paid millions of dollars
right,
to show up.
Right.
When you're not showing up, should you still get paid?
Should you still get that money?
I don't think you should get the money.
Okay. So it's more of a rule within like the NBA, like maybe if you don't show up at a certain,
or you don't get all the money. So this is the thing. I do think jobs in general should have some type of plan to where if you really are experiencing like mental issues, that you can take some paid time off.
Right.
Now, eventually, you shouldn't take advantage of it.
Right.
But eventually, I do think that like once you get that time off, you gonna do whatever you need to do.
Right.
They should pay you for that time, and then you should come back. The issue with Ben Simmons is Ben Simmons didn't play.
Right.
He still ain't playing. He got traded.
Right.
You're still not playing.
Right.
At this point, bro, what are we paying you for?
Right. So, and I think that's where the challenge comes in, because it's like, I want to be sympathetic to, you want to be sympathetic to people, but at some point we have to move on. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do I say this? Like, your feelings are not more important than our mission, like, or what we have to complete in general. You know what I mean? So I think that's the issue that we run into.
That's a hard line to navigate.
It is,
right? Like, because mental health is such it's a polarizing topic,
right?
And it used to be so taboo, and now
nobody wants to talk about it. Now everybody's talking about it.
Right. And it's like mental health is one of those things that you're not the other person, so you can't really you don't really know. Like, you can't gauge it.
You don't know.
I can't sit here and be like, oh, you're fine. Your mental health is fine. I don't know. I can physically say like you don't have a broken leg, so then physically I can say like, oh, either you are where you are in your progress or where you are in your injury. Mental health, nobody knows but that individual. You know, like, so how do you? It's super subjective,
right,
bro? So you can use mental health as an excuse, and I think that's probably where the challenge comes, because
some people
after a certain point, are people manipulating the mental health?
Exactly.
Right.
That's the problem.
So hope she doesn't listen. Bro, when I used to work at this call center, there was a girl who was like, she took some time off from work. Now we thinking she over here recouping, doing what she need to do. She done took time off from work, done went to hair school.
That's the problem.
The job is paying her.
They're
paying her while she is now in cosmetology school.
That's the problem.
And then she graduates and quits the job.
Right.
After she gets the degree. And I don't know, she may have legit been dealing with something, but I'm just like, for you to go do that just seems a little suspicious.
Right.
And I do think some people take advantage of the system, but I do think there are others where you really cannot like get up
Yeah,
and
exactly.
just
Yeah,
deal
it's
with
debilitating.
it. It's debilitating for some people. It really is debilitating.
yeah.
Cool. We hooped growing up. Mm-hmm. If we ain't at the NBA level.
No.
But
It was NBA for y'all.
especially thinking about sports culture, right?
That's
Like
the-
it's the culture is to compete, is to show up,
Right.
Bro,
Yes.
you fight through
Dominate.
You fight through physical injuries. You fight like when things going. People. And here's the challenge. Not saying that this is for everybody, but people show up even when there's external situations that happen, right? Like you navigating a family death or something like that. People still show up to
doesn't
games
matter,
and
yeah.
get it done. If you have a teammate who is like constantly not showing up because they're saying that their mental health is affecting them from a way that's physically not allowing them to show up, like, oh, because their back hurts, because they're stressed. They've been made fun of, and they're not showing up because their back hurts. Like,
Right.
how do you navigate that as a teammate? Like, would you look at that person differently? Or
I've had a situation like this in high school where this guy was just kind of checked out, and I don't know what was wrong with him to this day, but I was pissed. I'm gonna keep it real, bro. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. We're here to do one thing. If you're not able to do that thing, get out of here. What are you doing? I'm like, why are you here? Go handle your business.
Right.
I support your mental health. You don't need to be here.
Right.
This isn't the space for you right now. Go handle that. Once you get right, come back. Because we are working towards something.
And so I'm with you on that because, like, bro, even to that point, like, we're in the playoffs.
Right.
I'm pissed off.
I'm pissed,
looking
bro,
at
because
you.
we have an ultimate goal. We talked about it before the season. We're trying to win a championship. You keep saying you coming back, and you ain't showed up.
And that's the bad thing. He kept saying he was coming back.
Yeah, so like if you got issues going on, go handle your business.
Right.
But handle your business. But you not showing up, bro, is taken away from our ability to win,
Right.
our ability to move forward.
It's a distraction at that point.
You as a person care for you.
Right.
But in this environment, hey, this ain't for you.
Right.
Yeah, because I guess that's the hard thing, right? Like, we got to sit here and look at you.
Right. For what?
Like, get out our face.
Right, for
If you're
what?
really struggling with that, my boy, don't be here.
Right.
Because I'm sitting over here grinding.
Right.
I'm sitting over here working as hard as I gotta work because everybody has to compensate
Right.
for you not being there.
Right.
And I look over and you sitting in the stands. Mm-hmm. You sitting down on the blink. I'm pissed.
Right. Yeah.
I'm pissed, bro. So I think that's but I think it's tough though for athletes though, right? Because like that's their job. We seen the same thing happen with Simone Biles when she chose her mental health and she chose not to compete in she had withdrew from the Olympics.
That's different.
And people were saying, "How's that different though?"
She withdrew.
That's true. She did withdraw.
She withdrew. She said like,
Never mind. Sorry, man.
but that's what I'm saying. Like,
But that's the key.
She's saying, hey, I'm really struggling
She did.
here. I'm not going to show up. I can't really function right now. I'm not going to show up.
And I think that's the conclusion. Like, if you're ever faced with this situation, because we're talking about it in reference to like sports or whatever, but there can be spaces in your life where this is happening. You just encourage the person to get the help they need, and keep going towards where you're trying to get.
Because I think, bro, I can feel my fingers ain't really working properly. So I don't know. I'm going to type this week.
Don't go in. Do not go in, JJ. Because this is the thing.
Imagine JJ going to work and just being like, "Yeah, good job, everybody." Like, I can't type, but everybody.
Right. You over here just filing the paper. Everybody else grinding. And you over here trying to get into the break room. Guys, great week. When that girl was out, I was taking her phone call. If that call said
He ain't let it go yet.
I'm sitting up here looking at you living your best life. No, but I think that's tough, bro. Cause I know, I ain't gonna lie. We ain't in the NBA or nothing, but sometimes you just wake up and you be like, dang, I want to go to that job.
But we still ball.
we still get up because you know what, Coop? I got bills to pay.
Yeah, exactly.
I have bills to pay.
Exactly.
Bills equals I go to work, I exchange work for money so I can pay my bills.
Right.
I don't think Ben should be getting paid.
No, definitely not.
I think they should have said, hey, Ben, this is what we're going to do for you. We're going to give you a 3 months salary or whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop.
Which
After
is
that,
still like $10
which is
million.
still like $10 million. But like after that, my boy, we're paying you to come do this. We need you to come do that.
Or you can pay him to go get help.
That's true.
Like, we'll pay you to go get your...
And you have to report back every day.
Exactly.
You have to report back to us every day.
Yep.
What y'all talk about? Hip aside. Hip aside. What y'all talk about? What y'all talk about, sir? I know they got doctors. I know they got therapists too in the NBA.
Sports therapy, yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Everything.
That's just crazy. I think, like I said, the baseline, everybody deals with mental illness, but I do think some people legit take advantage of the system, and much like anything, when you start to see people do that, it just makes it bad for everybody.
It waters down the whole movement.
It waters down the whole movement. So like when people really, really have an issue, you don't take it seriously. You're like, oh, you just doing what being do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think we just have to be very cognizant of that
Right.
as a society. But we believe mental health real around here.
Yep.
All right, guys. So, this is the Soundboard Podcast. We come together, and I oftentimes ask y'all, am I tripping? We actually had a listener give us a listener letter. And she wanted to get our opinion on a situation.
This is my favorite.
And LL.
I love this, bro. I love this.
The mess.
Because I love this. Because we are a part of her soundboard. She said this. Dear Soundboard Podcast, I need y'all's advice.
We're here for you.
This guy and I have been dating for about 2 weeks now, and I really like him. He's thoughtful and he loves God. Look at her, a godly man. She said,
Time for Jesus.
She said, recently, I got a random follow request from a girl out of nowhere, and I noticed that he was a mutual friend of ours. When I mentioned it to him, all he said was, that's strange. And he didn't say anything else. Bring it in, guys.
I love this guy.
After I added the girl, she became super active on my page, liking and commenting stuff. She even reached out and told me that she was looking for new friends, so I invited her to hang out with me and some women I know. Look at her, how thoughtful.
on.
The day after one of my dates with the guy, he said we needed to talk. He then told me that he and the girl who added me used to date.
You don't say. Surprise, surprise. I didn't see that coming.
He said that he ended up calling it off because he didn't think she was the one for him. Okay. And although they never slept together, he says that she is still hurt from him breaking things off, but he's glad that she's found women to hang out with. As much as I like this guy, I can't help but to think he was wrong for lying about knowing her in the first place.
Did he lie?
Would I be tripping if I continued to date him after all of this?
There's so much to unpack here.
Okay.
First of all, he needs to listen to our podcast because he's doing the being a good guy thing. Well, if he's telling the truth. We'll talk about that later. If he's telling the truth and he's like, he doesn't want to hurt the ex's feelings, that's being too good of a guy.
Right.
You need to be a good man.
Right.
You broke up with her. Do not let her hold you back from what you want in life.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Forget her. For your mental health.
Right.
So I want to speak on this one key thing,
What's
okay,
that?
that I think she needs advice on. He lied. I don't care how you flip
lie?
it.
Where'd he lie?
Did.
He said that's strange.
He said that's strange.
Is that
And
a lie?
and omittance of the truth is a lie.
Bro,
But it's strange.
That's crazy.
Wow, that's crazy. And omittance of the truth is a lie.
Oh my god.
He lied, and then he felt bad about it and came back and said, "I need to talk to you."
I don't think he felt bad.
He did. Or you
No.
just think? Or you think he just told because he was about to get caught up?
Yeah.
Oh,
you're right.
He felt the walls closing
No,
in.
bro. There are.
He saw them out there brushed together.
Bro,
he was like,
no,
I
women
gotta
are
say
already
something
hanging
now.
out. Women
That
are already
is
hanging
true.
out.
They are
It's
hanging out.
pressure.
Right.
What you gonna do?
It was only a matter of time before she leaned across them mimosas and said,
Yeah.
"How you know?"
Yeah.
Because his alleged ex probably checked him and was like, "I'm gonna tell him what's up."
So you're
I
saying
hate a snitch, bro. I hate a real snitch, dog. That's the worst.
But you know
Hold
what?
that down.
You know what? And this is what I'll say. You know, my point of view is I think Shawty got to leave him alone, and here is why. Clearly, although he broke up with Lil Mama, Lil Mama ain't broke up with him. There's still something there that needs to
And
be.
that's fine.
that
But the
needs to
fact
be
that he
done.
still cares about that.
The fact that he's like, but I'm glad that she found women to hang out with.
No.
Don't nobody care about her.
No, at all.
And the fact that you still kind of even are glad that you. And I mean, you can be happy for somebody, but like you allowing that to step in the way of your new good thing. I say, hey, listener, leave that man alone.
Also,
Because he got some stuff he need to figure out.
Also, if he's omitting certain parts of the truth, what else is he omitting?
That's strange.
Right. So it's like, to me, you got to pay attention to the signs.
He got the draws.
I ain't trying to be messy.
But I'm saying, so part of that comes to like, paying attention to what's being presented to
Right.
you. Like you got all these discrepancies.
Right.
Is this a pattern of behavior?
Right.
How is this gonna play out if you continue to talk to him? You're gonna be cool with the way he's moving.
Right.
I can tell you're lying because when you're replying, stutter, 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 stutter. I can tell you're lying. That's strange.
This reminds me of something with being key. Like, I used
Hold
to.
on. What you about to say?
Never mind.
No, you gotta say it now. I hate when people do that.
How do I say this? I used to defend my ex to Key,
Oh, well, you was messing up from the jump.
but
You was messing up from the jump.
you just let it ride even if it's not true.
Yes, you supposed to be like, oh my gosh, she got jumped. Ooh.
Search for her.
Oh my gosh.
She deserved it.
Somebody did what?
That's the move. That's the
Yeah,
move.
she dropped out of she what?
Because what if she's like, "You're old hoe"? I'm like, she wasn't a hoe.
She was whatever Key said she was.
That's already an argument.
Yeah, that's already an argument because you trying to defend her.
But she's like, "That's my old hoe."
your little ex.
Yeah.
That's what they be saying,
She's
girls.
little.
She big ex. She was my favorite one. Yeah, so I stand on, hey, leave him alone. Clearly he got some unfinished business with that. How you feel? You agree?
Yeah, go ahead and step to the side unless he wants to confront y'all both in the same room.
Not a TV show.
He needs to sit her down.
Not The Boy Is Mine. I'm sorry that you seem to be confused. The boy is mine. You know what's so funny? She started out at the beginning of that song. She said, "You know his name."
Yeah. That's how brunch was going.
JJ, how do you feel? She needs to leave him alone.
Gotta leave him alone.
Gotta leave him alone.
alone.
Hey, and this the thing, listener. We know half of y'all don't be listening anyway, so you probably still gonna mess with them. Don't be coming back here. Don't be coming back here a couple months from now. Talking about you got problems.
Give us an update.
I want to update. We need an update.
So I didn't take your advice.
You know, Coop love when he say, "I told you so." No, guys, but we love these kind of letters, guys, and of course we will keep your name private. But if you do have something you want our opinion on, feel free to either email it to us at thesoundboardpodcast@gmail.com or hit us in our DMs on IG.
And now it is time for the soundbite of the week.
The soundbite of the week is capitalize on your strengths and manage around your weaknesses.
Say that again, my boy.
I'm only saying it twice, not 30.
You said like 5 times.
Say it again. You know, in church. Keep going, Pastor.
Capitalize on your strengths and manage around your weaknesses.
What that mean, JJ?
That means, I feel like that means you have to hone in on. See, the problem is.
What's the problem, JJ? Please tell us the problem.
The problem
Please
is.
tell us our problem.
Most people try to focus on their weaknesses. They
Right.
try to focus on like areas of opportunity,
Right.
areas of growth.
Right.
You can only improve your levels of weakness to a certain degree.
Agreed.
Right.
Like I don't really feel like you can have
You're just
excellence.
weak. You're weak.
You can't have excellence around your weaknesses, but your strengths, their strengths are what make you thrive.
Right.
So if you can hone in on your strengths, then you can move from a level of just managing, just getting by to a level of excellence.
Yeah.
So
That's
focus. So hone in on those strengths and then just manage those weaknesses.
That's big, bro. That's a leadership principle I learned this week. I keep telling myself that I'm gonna be a planner, and that is just not the case.
That's not
That
the
is
plan.
That's a weakness for me. That's a weakness for me.
Hey,
and
delegate
this week
that.
I started to delegate things, and things started to move. The needle started
You're
to
a
move.
delegator.
I'm a delegator now.
That's leadership.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Call me leader.
Emphasis on lead.
Hey guys, we appreciate you tapping into another episode of the podcast. This was episode what?
38.
I'm glad we got it right this time. Hey man, if you want to keep up with us, please feel free to follow us on IG. That's our community. That's where it all goes down at the Soundboard Podcast. Also, guys, if you are listening to this and you have not left us a rating or review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, please feel free to do that. And if you think this podcast is good, if you love it, if you think somebody could grow from this information, please share this. Share this with about 5 people this week. Please.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Please share this with 5 people. Please. What are we doing this for? Nah. Hey guys, you can keep up with me at Dante Speaks Life. That's DONTAE Speaks Life.
And you can follow me at @thisiscoop_.
And you can follow me, Jeremy, at _Jeremy J.
Hey guys, we're out. Have a great week.
We out.
Peace.